night we ride.
What up, what up, what up, man? It's your boy DREY-DUS, the casual beast for the average gamer. Got some Battlefield 4 beta on the Xbox. This is Domination. I did Conquest last week. This is Domination, and this to me is a direct attempt at attracting Call of Duty type players by DICE. I mean, I guess they have their reasons. This is not a game mode that I would necessarily like or like to play in Battlefield, but people love it. Like Metro, Metro Conquest and Battlefield 3. That's all people wanted to make a server for and play over and over and over and over. I guess because you level up quick, but I don't know. It's just not really my type of thing. This Battlefield doesn't do arena type like Call of Duty. I mean, you just don't have the responsiveness. You got 30 frames. The guys just don't respond as good. Any effect though, it seems to be popular as far as that's a lot of people want to play on the current gen console version. Now, real quick, what I want to say is this: I will give them a little bit of a pass for the current gen. My recommendation to people on console is if you're going to get next gen Battlefield, do not buy it on current gen. And I hate to say that, and I know some people are going to buy it and do that upgrade for $10. That's your prerogative. Me, I am going to play Battlefield 4 on the PS4, but I'm going to wait until the 15th when it comes out and just get it that. I don't want a PS3 disc playing in my PS4. You just don't know the problems that's going to come up with that. But the current gen version, the hardware struggles to run the game. Okay, the Battlefield 4, the beta on console was a month old build when the game first came out. A lot of people don't realize that. DICE has come out and said the build of the game was already a month old before when the beta first started. So they pretty much just threw out, an old E3 build with no textures and whatever. And it's because they're focusing on the next gen and PC. But if you buy the game, if you do play the game on current gen, it'll be a little bit better, when the game comes out here next Tuesday. Because it'll have the textures and it'll be cleaned up just a little bit. Just, because we all know the beta part was, just terrible. The connections were okay, but it just was you could see the engine was struggling the console was struggling to run the engine. I experienced a lot of glitches, a lot of stuff from Battlefield 3 that were the same issues, hiccups, spawning, and my guy was spawned with no gun, shooting people from 2 feet away, and the game didn't even register that I was even firing, and just some crazy stuff. We all know, we've all played Battlefield on the console, we all know the problems. I do think that'll be cleaned up, but I do think you're still going to see some of that on the current gen version, because one of the reasons that's happening is the Battlefield 4 engine has been updated. It is better than the previous ones. The console, the current gen, is already taxed. I mean, they're eking every ounce of power that the PS3 and the Xbox have out of it. So it struggles to run it. And you can see it in game. The frame rate will drop from 30 on down to 20, 19 during explosions. The game will hiccup and freeze and then release and hesitate. It's just because the hardware is so taxed out. So I'm just saying to people, if you're sticking with current gen, hey, by all means, ignore me and just play the game. You probably like it the way it is, 30 frames. Go with it. But if you are going to get it on next gen, it is a whole world's difference of Battlefield. You're going to get the PC version as far as how the engine's running, the hardware can handle it. You're going to get double the frames. You're going to get 64 people. The conquest is going to be much bigger, much more vast. You're still going to have a lot of big fights because there's a lot more people. But it's almost a totally different game. So I do think it's going to be a good game. Okay, I do think it's an improvement over Battlefield 3. I just think people should, if you're on console, you should focus on next gen. I don't care whether you're Xbox or PlayStation 4. I'm personally getting it on PlayStation 4, but it really just, depends on what you're looking for at it. But once you've played it 60 frames or more on PC, and then you go back and play the console version with 30 frames, and you're like, wow, everything feels so slow. Like, you could have your sensitivity really high, but it feels like you're running around in quicksand. And I don't mean speed of running, I just mean even turning, reacting. Everything is delayed because the hardware is struggling to run it. But we'll see how it goes. I know a lot of people are going to get it and level up. I am not. I might rent it on PS3 just to level my character up a little bit, and I think that's one of the reasons Domination is going to be so popular. Is people are going to just be trying to level up just to unlock some guns, playing simple Domination on the current gen, and then once the next gen version gets here for PlayStation 4 on the 15th, buy it. You can transfer your account straight over to it, and bam, you're already level 22 or whatever, starting on the PlayStation 4 version, and you already got some guns unlocked, and you don't feel behind. Same thing with Xbox the next week, Xbox One, the 21st or whatever, when it comes out for that. So, it's people's own prerogative and how they do it. But I do think it's going to be a good game. I am excited about it. My excitement is 60 frames. My excitement is 64 players. My excitement is Conquest on big maps with 5, 6 flags, not the 3 flag, Domination or 3 flag Conquest that's half empty because you only got 12 players. You got one guy in the transport chopper with 4 or 5 guys riding with him. You got 2 guys that just sit back and camp for the attack chopper. That's 7, 8 guys out of your 12. You got 2 or 3 snipers around the map. You only really got 1 or 2 guys running around the map actually trying to cap flags. And then people wonder why they say Conquest is boring on consoles. That's because everybody just wants to, do the easy mode stuff. They just want to get in the chopper and try to get easy kills. Nobody wants the gun battle. Well, if you're going to be playing next gen on PC, all that's going to change. Yes, there's still a attack chopper. There's still transport chopper. There's still snipers all over the place. But there's 32 players on each side. You're still going to have groups and squads running around capping shit. So it'll be a big upgrade in action. I mean, there's action all over the place. And when I played, my PC version beta, I never had problems with that, getting back in action quick. There was always some fights somewhere. And it's a little bit spread out, which is good. So, because it's not, it's not like you got to go down one alley and everybody's camping it with machine guns and you're forced to go that way. No, there's always flanking routes all over the place. To be able to get to different flags, and there's always tactics, and you'll be able to use a lot more tactics and think, a lot more than you could previously on console. So bottom line is what I'm trying to say is, don't judge Battlefield overall just on the beta. I mean, the game was missing all the textures, missing a whole lot of stuff. The game is taxed on current gen, but they're going to put it out to make that money. I mean, why not? But the next gen version, trust me, is gonna be worth it. I mean, you're gonna get medium settings, and medium on PC is beautiful. Don't let anybody fool you. These PC nerds only, they try to act like, oh, if you're not playing it in ultra, then it doesn't look good. That's bullshit. I've put the game at medium and I put the game at high in the beta, and there was no difference for me. I mean, it just wasn't visually. I can play, and 2 competitive players of Battlefield, they play Battlefield on low or medium anyway, because you want the higher frame rate on PC. Frame rate wins battles when you're shooting one-on-one. A lot of people don't understand that, don't know that, but they'll learn in the future. So in any effect, man, I hope you enjoyed the video. But Battlefield next week, man, if you're getting it and you're on PS3, gonna be on PS4, holla at me in the description, man. Let me know. I'm looking for people to play with on the PS3/PS4 version, and I'll get some people added on my friends list. Any effect, man. Enjoy the video. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll holler. Peace.
Me too. I've been able to play it at the medium settings just on purpose, and at 720p, 60 frames. You guys are gonna love it on PS4. Because it looks good, it plays smooth, the engine doesn't struggle.